Welcome to the journey. This is week 1 and the focus is going to be on movement. So now here's what this week looks like. No real big changes. I'm going at this slow and steady because that's what wins the race and what makes for lasting change. We're creating some new habits and getting the body in a healthier state with a benefit of losing a few pounds along the way. So this week's one small step is increasing movement. 30 minutes of cardio on an elliptical for 5 days and taking 2 days off for recovery. So that's for me. But before we get started about movement and talking about that, I want to spend a short bit of time talking about motivation. So what is motivation? The definition of motivation is the reason one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. You're watching this video for a reason. What is your motivation for it? My personal motivation is changing my body composition, but that's not the real motivation. One of the things I like to talk to my clients about is their big Mofa, or motivating factor. Looking good and having, clothes fitting better is like all the surface stuff. It's what everyone will see on the outside and comment about as they see us transform, but is that the real reason for doing and putting in all this work? There has to be more. You really need to dig into the reason for doing something to bring out the meaning. In other words, the real why. I not only want to look better and have clothes fit better, but I want to have more energy and feel fit so I can enjoy more of life with my family without stressing over the rolls of stuff falling out around my waistband. I'll feel more confident and less self-conscious about myself and have a better overall sense of well-being. So take a moment and really think about why you are doing this and what is motivating you, and constantly asking yourself why it's important until you really feel that you've landed on something big or your big Mofa. Now, on to movement. I'm starting this journey with something basic, just some cardio on an elliptical for 30 minutes for 5 days of the week. Your movement can be anything, and it can be shorter or longer. I'm starting off with baby steps and slowly. For me, 30 minutes is a good starting point. If you're just starting out, you might want to do less. If you're fairly active, you might want to do what I'm doing, or maybe just a small amount more. But a little bit of movement each day is a great place to begin. Another thing about movement is that you should find something that you enjoy doing. It can be anything. Think about activities that you really like that involve moving your body. It doesn't need to be your typical gym type movement if you don't really see yourself enjoying walking on a treadmill or elliptical or riding a stationary bike. It can literally be anything that gets your body in motion. I go through exercises with my clients to find movements that they enjoy doing. And I ask them to think about a time when they were doing something fun that involved moving their body. Something that they really enjoyed. One of my clients really enjoys a clean house. They like how they feel when the house is clean and get satisfaction seeing the results of their efforts when they finish. I told them that's movement and it counts. I told them that's movement and it counts. If you enjoy it, you'll be more likely to keep doing it. After that, they found even more enjoyment in cleaning, that they turned on the music and jammed out while accomplishing a task that brought them joy and pleasure. So when you're thinking about movement, pick something that brings you joy and pleasure, and the side benefit of doing that movement is that you'll be doing something that gets you closer to your goals. Another thing about movement is that you can turn a boring movement task such as cardio into something fun. When I was training for bodybuilding competitions, I did a ton of cardio. Contest prep involves literally hours of it. It was something that I dreaded. Steady state cardio is a necessary evil in contest prep. You hate to do it, but it works. And you just have to suck it up and put in the time. I'm fortunate enough to have an elliptical in my basement, but when I look at it and scowl. But I needed to do it for this challenge, so I had to come up with a creative way to make it fun and an enjoyable experience. Sure, putting on the TV, watching a movie, and just pumping the time away is what I used to do, and time would seem to go faster in my mind to take my mind off of the process. But now, I've discovered something that really makes me want to go and do it all of the time. So you may have heard about it, but the VR revolution, virtual reality revolution, is really coming on the scene strong. So Literally, virtual reality has changed cardio for me. This little gym is a game changer. If you have the money to spend on one of these things, then I would recommend strongly that you do it, especially if you're going to be pumping out cardio on a machine. Let's see where we go today. 30 minutes, let's get it done. Into the headset. Give it a try. I don't usually promote products or services here, but I will say that there is an app in VR that I really enjoy, and it makes cardio fun for me. Yes, I said fun. HoloFit is the app, and the creators did a really great job to make the environments an enjoyable experience and the experience of cardio one that I actually want to do, and I do it often. So you see some of the environments in the video that I'm showing in here, and it's really immersive. The program, the graphics, while I'm on the elliptical, I can turn my head and look around in the environment, and before I know it, the time has passed and it's time for me to end my session. 30 minutes goes like that. I mean, it's really quick. So that's what I'm doing for my first week involving movement. I'm curious to find out what you landed on and what you discovered and how you got creative to make movement an enjoyable experience for you. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. So tune in next week and we'll talk about one more small step that we can take, and we'll do some assessments to find out what our activity did. And I'll see you in the next one.